But then let's move on to the issue of power struggle that Governor Doye Diri spoke about. It tended to be insinuating that there seemed to be internal wranglings within the NDDC, which could, to a large extent, affect its duties within the NDDC states where it is supposed to discharge projects. Now, to what extent do you think that this is a political statement?
Yeah. Can you confirm you can hear me, please?
I can hear you.
Okay, so when it comes to the internal wrangling, that's more to do with the fact that people are leaning more to politics than administration, even when they get into appointed offices. And that's the problem. First and foremost, internal wrangling shouldn't be the case when we're talking of governance. Governance should be where we consolidate our strengths, where we put together the, sort of uniqueness in our diversity, and then we pull all that together and bring governance to the table. And I think that's what's lacking in this instance that you've just cited. There shouldn't be any internal wrangling. Projects should be on a need basis. Projects should be on a competitive basis, looking at what does it bring some sort of social capital to the people, or social return on investment to the people, or does it bring some sort of financial return on investment to the people? So we need to look at it from that standpoint so that we can tell and say, yes, we have executed projects that's for the common good. The other thing that I think about is sometimes the rationale of several projects. Now, one thing is very endemic within the Nddc system is that year in, year out, you find out that the same projects are being talked about, right? Different contractors, same projects, and you're asking yourself, what's going on? Why has it point where we're now at the utility phase of this project? And these are things that we need to look at when we are putting people in there for appointed offices. Do they really have the antecedents? Have they done projects before, or is it for political compensation? And if there's a political compensation thing, is it possible to put them at the helms of affair, where they're up there, participate, but they're technocrats that inform them and help them to take informed decisions? Because there is an endemic issue even within the NDDC itself when it has to do with their projects, and also the way they handle payments of projects for various contractors.
All right, Dr. Wisdom, when you said that the governor is saying that the NDDC should consult with governors before they initiate projects, do you not think that this will bring unnecessary, interference into the activities of the NDDC, or probably control? Hello, doctor, can you hear me?
Yeah, I couldn't. It's breaking. Come again.
The governor of Bayelsa State is saying that the NDDC people should consult with the governors before initiating projects. Don't you think that this will bring unnecessary interference into the activities of NDDC or control of their activities?
No, but it depends on the objective function that you want to optimize, right? Is the objective function to optimize your bureaucratic control, or is the objective function to optimize the delivery of projects to people? I think my problem with the whole corporate politics is sometimes, corporate politics, yes, that's the word, is sometimes we get so entangled in it that we forget the original aim. The reason you have to work with the NDDC is very simple, with the governors is very simple. Now, I'm going to give you a very practical example. Now, if you put me on the spot and say, Dr. Enan, what would you advise if you were to run a ministry that had to interface with the NDDC? The first thing I'm going to be thinking about is standardization of project execution template. So we're looking at setting up a work management system. That means that whether it is NDDC that comes to execute projects in Akwa Ibom State, or it is the people that the local governments that are executing projects, that we at least have a clarity on this. We have uniformity on the kind of standard that we're expecting. We have a work management system that, whether you're an engineer from the NDDC or a consultant to the local government, once I hand you that template, you can deliver projects, and that project will stand the test of time in Akwa Ibom State. If everybody works with their own templates, then of course we are all going to get it wrong, because once you think you've delivered a project and you think you've done it properly, let's say a road project, I may come in and say, look, this project doesn't even scratch it for me per my standard. And another person will come in and say, look, this project is even bad per my standard. What does that mean? We need to come together, form a work management system that will guide everybody that is executing a job in Akwa Ibom State. For example, and other states can have same. So both from a quality standpoint, both from a cost perspective, both from the maximization of the utility value of the project, we need to have stakeholder engagement. We need to have the stakeholders engagement. They have that conversation, harmonize on their expectations, harmonize on the execution plan and execution timing. Sometimes you even have what we call in oil and gas engineering SIMOPS. It's called simultaneous operations. Now, SIMOPS happens where you're about to do a job, a road, and somebody else is about to do another project, maybe in a different location, but that project is going to affect your project. So what if I'm about to do that, and I'm going to even, maybe the road you're planning to do, I'm about to create a diversion from the road that I'm about to close and do at the state level to your road, and you're telling me you want to do the road. So we need to talk so that we can make sure that we are maximizing our outcomes on the project delivery.